Hey yo, first and foremost, shout out to Lamont Roach and Tank. That was a great fight. I enjoyed it. But yo, I'm making this video because for the whole build up, y'all were killing me over my victory over Lamont, saying that he wasn't worthy of the Tank fight. But at the end of the day, I don't care what y'all say. I got that W. That's all I'm saying. I got the W.
The boxing world is buzzing after the intense showdown between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Here are the most shocking reactions to the fight. Lamont Roach is no stranger to Gervonta "Tank" Davis. The two clashed in the amateur ranks, forging a history that added another layer to their recent showdown. Roach's father and trainer, Lamont Roach Sr., has watched Davis evolve into a boxing superstar. But past familiarity held no weight in the lead-up to this fight. Tensions ran high, and the atmosphere crackled with intensity. "My mindset is to beat him," Roach told Boxing Scene before the fight. Roach claimed his title in November 2023, defeating Hector Luis Garcia on the undercard of David Benavidez's triumph over Demetrius Andrade. He successfully defended it once against Fergal McCrory on ProBox TV before securing a career-defining showdown with Davis, one of the biggest opportunities a boxer could seize. "This camp is different because I feel like they are counting me out," said Roach. The 29-year-old's eager anticipation came in response to Terence Crawford's candid remarks. The former undisputed champion asserted that, given the current boxing landscape, only his close friend Shakur Stevenson and stablemate Keyshawn Davis, who recently secured a spot among the lightweight division's elite, possessed the skill to hand Gervonta Davis a significant defeat. Tank Davis has built a reputation as a relentless finisher, forcing opponents into retreat with his power. His previous outing saw him stop Frank Martin in his sole 2024 fight, following a knockout victory over Ryan Garcia the previous year. Lamont Roach Jr. appeared to be staring down an insurmountable challenge, but so did Muhammad Ali when he stepped into the ring against George Foreman in Kinshasa. What followed became the stuff of legend, etching the rumble in the jungle into the annals of history. Kicking off the pre-fight mind games with a classic twist, Roach Jr. delivered a bold statement. "Roses are red, violets are blue. March 1st sounds like, and the new." This fight went beyond a routine title defense for Davis or just another challenge for Roach. It was deeply personal. Their rivalry traces back to 2011, when Davis bested Roach twice as an amateur. Now, over a decade later, Roach was hungry for redemption and wasn't afraid to say it. But if there's one thing Davis won't do, it's back down, especially when the trash talk starts flying. The moment Roach Jr. spoke up, Davis was right there to fire back. "Roses are red, violets are blue. March 1st sounds like a. Don't worry, baby, you'll be home soon from the hospital," Davis shot back. Fans quickly flooded in with reactions, ranging from enthusiastic approval to outright dismissal. One thing was certain, they relished the playful back and forth leading up to the fight. Meanwhile, Terence Crawford stirred the pot even further. Alongside Shakur Stevenson and several others rallying behind Keyshawn Davis, Crawford engaged with reporters, sparking speculation about a potential title unification bout, with the businessman now crowned the double WBO lightweight champion. The prospect of a showdown with Gervonta Davis transitioned from mere speculation to a real possibility. A reporter asked Crawford about the chances of an upcoming unification fight. Shrugging, Crawford simply replied, "Whoever," before adding that Davis knows the challenges ahead. "He knows what he's up against when he fights Shakur or Keyshawn," Crawford stated. The familiar criticism of Tank Davis resurfaced once again. Like many others, Crawford pointed out that Davis has been squaring off against opponents who hardly measure up to his skill level. "They might have a little skill here and there, but mentally, they're not going to be able to keep it up the whole fight," Crawford said. So, was Lamont Roach Jr. on the anonymous list of opponents Crawford subtly dismissed? The former undisputed champion notably left out Roach's name when predicting who could hand Davis his first defeat. "Them two guys, Shakur and Keyshawn, right there, you know what I mean? They're going to be the ones to give Tank his first loss," Crawford concluded. As the boxing world reacted to the electrifying clash, opinions continued to pour in. Some hailed Roach's determination, while others insisted Davis' dominance was inevitable. Regardless of where fans stood, the fight had already cemented itself as one of the most talked-about moments in boxing.
I said it on Twitter. It went viral when I said the top 5 thing. A lot of people agreed. A lot of people disagreed. Tank said I was a meat lover. He came in, he was like, "Oh, this guy, you a meat lover."
But Tank would never even think about hesitating to come up to 154.
All right, what about 47, though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent.
Mm-hmm.
If Tank get to pick his opponent, he would do it. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Former champion Mikey Garcia weighed in on the showdown between Davis and Roach in an interview with Fight Hub TV. While discussing the matchup, Garcia also revealed why the idea of Davis eventually facing Shakur Stevenson did not excite him. Despite this, a potential lightweight unification clash between Davis and Stevenson remains one of the most unpredictable and intriguing bouts in the sport. Before the fight, Garcia stated, "I think Tank is one of the very best fighters in the lightweight division. I don't think Roach would be a huge threat for Tank. Tank is very talented, very skilled, and also very experienced at this point. He's fought and seen pretty much every style there is, and his power is tremendous. He has that knockout punching power and the confidence to do it." Garcia further added, "It's hard to go against Tank. Again, not to disrespect his opponent, Roach, but I think Tank is a beast, and he's been proving it in every fight. He probably will win this fight as well." On the other hand, Stevenson is known for embodying the hit and don't get hit philosophy, effortlessly weaving movement, defense, and speed to dominate his opponents. While his recent performances have drawn criticism for lacking excitement, Stevenson remains confident that when the stakes are highest, he will rise to the occasion and deliver his best. However, Garcia admitted that he was not a big fan of a Davis-Stevenson fight. "I do believe Shakur Stevenson is a great fighter. He's got the skills, the talent, great footwork, speed, reflexes, and counterpunching ability. He's one of the very best. But I'm not a fan of that fight because Stevenson is the kind of fighter who will stick to his style regardless of what the critics, fans, or anybody wants to see. Winning is winning for him." Garcia explained that, as a fight fan, this approach did not appeal to him. While he respected Stevenson's skills and acknowledged his talent, he personally preferred to see other matchups. He expressed interest in a Davis versus Vasily Lomachenko fight, believing that Lomachenko, despite having elite footwork, speed, and reflexes, was more inclined to engage in an actual battle. Shakur Stevenson's style makes for a dull and not as exciting matchup, Garcia continued. "That's why he's going to have a tough time getting some of these big fights until he changes his style a bit and shows a little more aggression. Maybe then he'll get the fights, but until then, I don't think Tank or any serious threat will fight him. Stevenson is a great fighter in terms of skills, but not a great fighter for the fans." Entered Gervonta Tank Davis, a knockout artist whose fights rarely reach the final bell. Hailing from Baltimore, he has built a reputation for delivering jaw-dropping finishes, with a highlight reel that rivals the sport's best. Whispers from the gym suggest that he not only overwhelms opponents in the ring, but also leaves much heavier sparring partners battered behind closed doors. Veteran boxing commentator Jim Lampley predicted before the fight that Davis would secure his 31st career win and 29th knockout against Roach. "Lamont Roach has done his best to portray optimism," Lampley said. He has pointed out that he saw Davis in the amateur ranks and is already familiar with the 135-pound champion's precision, power, and style. He has underlined his motivation to begin fulfilling his dreams of building a legend. He has observed the money-making platform that would ensue from an upset win. However, Lampley emphasized that Roach had yet to present a convincing case for how he could solve the puzzle that has led to a lengthy series of spectacular knockouts, making Tank Davis one of the biggest names in boxing. Even if Tank did not possess his shocking punching power, he would still be an elite lightweight based on his crafty southpaw style, clever footwork, and killer instinct, Lampley continued. But it's pure power that really sets him apart. He doesn't just beat his opponents, he annihilates them in breathtaking, often scary fashion. Like a career predator, he approaches his kills patiently, behaving like a counterpuncher before suddenly exploding into irrepressible violence for a sudden finish. His knockouts are picturesque, much like what we saw from Mike Tyson in the early stages of his career. Davis is now well beyond the developmental stage, yet he continues to outclass shocked opponents. Although Roach claimed he had improved, Lampley believed the result of the fight was already clear. Roach has a quality background and is a highly competent boxer, Lampley said. But when I asked the most experienced boxing writer, I know what chance he gave Roach in this fight, his answer was, "The same chance I give to a caterpillar crawling in the way of a steamroller." Davis by middle round TKO, onward to potential matchups with Lomachenko, Stevenson, or Keyshawn Davis, any of whom would have a better chance than Roach. Meanwhile, boxing legend Bernard Hopkins also shared his thoughts on the Davis vs. Roach showdown during an interview with Michelle Joy Phelps of Fight Hub TV. Hopkins did not hesitate to weigh in on the matchup. "Tank Davis, to me, is going to give anybody problems," Hopkins stated. "The burden is on Roach, or anybody else, for that matter. In this case, it is Roach." Earlier in the summer, Roach had been called up by the sanctioning authority to compete against interim titlist Albert Bader Gaziev. Regardless, Hopkins warned Davis not to underestimate Roach. Tank cannot overlook Roach, Hopkins said. Roach is a really good fighter, both a boxer and a puncher. He has confidence from his amateur days. Lamont Roach, meanwhile, revealed the circumstances surrounding his fight with Davis. Roach had initially agreed to the fight, but since he was not yet a champion, the bout did not materialize. Instead, the PBC ended up selecting Hector Luis Garcia as Davis' opponent. While Hopkins appeared to favor Davis, he cautioned against complacency, emphasizing that Roach had the skills to make things interesting. However, as the dust settled, the consensus among experts remained clear. Davis was expected to continue his reign of dominance, setting the stage for even bigger challenges ahead. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss our future uploads.